And I should say, before we get too far into this, we're in a hotel room, and we're recording on like a mobile recording thing, so the audio's weird, that's why. But hey, Chris Jericho can do it, so can we. Welcome everybody to Saves Together, a podcast about playing games together, whether that means co-op or passing the controller back and forth or just playing the same game at the same time. It doesn't matter how, it only matters that it's together because...
When you save together, you stay together.
I'm Craig McGowan.
And I'm Grace Novak.
And joining us today are two of the coolest people I know.
Gary.
And Greg.
This is episode 24, and today we're talking about Gauntlet Legends, the arcade cabinet. Not the N64 or Dreamcast version, because we're all home for the holidays visiting our family, and we went to the local establishment that is a bar/arcade that's not a barcade.
Well, the barcade is in Brooklyn. This is Rochester, where we have a place called Swillburger.
It's also called the Playhouse, right?
Yeah, the Playhouse at Swillburger, and it's...
So it's Playhouse / Swillburger is the name of this place?
Is it like, so this place also does burgers?
I think it's Swillburger Playhouse.
Oh, I think on their Instagram it's Playhouse Swillburger.
Wow, because on the coin I think it's something else.
Well, so I was always under the impression the burger portion, just that little hallway where you get your burger, that's Swillburgers.
That was my original impression as well.
And then the rest is the Playhouse.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's in an old church. It's really cool. It's new since we left, so I've never... I mean, this is my second time here, but we didn't get to hang out here when we were kids, but I guess we wouldn't have hung out there as kids either.
A little far.
Before we get into the topic, Grace, what have you been playing by yourself?
I have been playing by myself Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Edition.
How are you finding that? Ultimate Edition?
I don't know.
It's not an Ultimate. It's just...
I beat it. The
What?
World of Light. I finally beat it after 30 hours of tough trials and tribulations. I beat the game.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I had a good time. It's a good way to train your Smash skills, I would say, because it's not an easy task. So I had a good time. Yeah, I mean, there was just a lot there. There's definitely a lot, a surprising amount. I kept thinking I was gonna beat it. It was the end, and it was not.
I'm under the impression it does not train your Smash skills because the computers do dumb stuff, and you can catch them in traps that you're not going to be able to catch a human in.
I think it just depends on how you play. You can definitely cheese the computers, but you don't have to. And I've been playing sort of normally, like how I would play against people, and I think it has made me feel like I am playing better. But, you know,
I think it's
who's to say, really? Because I can still beat you, so frankly, you can't really...
Gary, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Crusader Kings II.
On the computer?
Yeah, they just released a new expansion pack, so...
What does that add?
It revamps the Crusades. And
so it's Crusader Kings.
Yeah.
Now.
There are more Crusades.
Yeah, there's also Reformed Paganism.
Excellent.
What does that mean?
I don't know, I didn't play that.
Oh, okay, but it's there.
Well, there's Reformed Catholicism, Reformed Protestantism, and there's also Reformed Paganism now.
Because it's like an RTS, like you're taking, isn't it like you lay siege to cities and stuff like that? So is that one of the ways to do victory, is to attack with religion? Or as you attack them, are you spreading religion? Or
how do you use the paganism?
Yeah, is it a mechanic of the game, or is it just this is a theme of a level?
I don't know. My current kingdom is Jewish, so
okay,
that doesn't affect me at all.
Do they celebrate Hanukkah?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have an empire that you're expanding?
Yeah.
Okay, so each mission is like this little area, and then you're spreading over a map. Is that how it's going?
Yeah, pretty much.
So is it like Civilization?
Kind of, but it's more on a real world stage.
Okay.
And intense, like...
Oh, more intense. Like the Civilization's for babies, right?
Yeah, pretty
yes,
much.
I'm the baby.
Lots and lots of micromanaging, lots and lots of...
Because it's real time, right? It's not taking turns. Okay.
Yeah.
And like, there's like hierarchies and family trees, and like he can have his sister go and marry the king to get, there's like... It is in depth. I tried to play it once. It's It's co-op. You can do co-op.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Greg,
Hey.
what have you been playing solo?
A bunch of things, but I haven't really been investing a lot of time into it.
Sure.
So I played some Borderlands 2 because it was on the Steam sale recently.
Nice.
It's
The
been-
VR run.
No.
Okay.
And so lots of co-op, and a lot of friends have been also picked it up. So jumping around different friend groups and starting new characters. I have 6 different characters I've started recently.
Are they all different? Different classes?
Well, some of them are.
Okay.
And also been playing some Civilization 6 because I picked up that recently.
That's
you're
the
a
one for
baby.
babies.
Yeah.
Was trying to I was
Yeah.
I'm a baby, and that was one that I was curious about. The new mechanics are. I have a problem with that game where I always want the biggest world to play in. I always like just kind of exploring, and you never want a game to necessarily end. But then it takes like 2 minutes between turns because I was playing on my laptop, so 20 different guys have to all make their move, and then it's like, okay, so I was spending more time between scenes than playing with scenes. But
You can't just skip that?
you can, well, you're loading, so you're going through all their turns, and so
my
it's just
God.
like
Gotta
you're waiting
do
for characters to move. But it was nice because I've been visiting family, so I kind of just walked around with my computer and was taking turns while I was chatting and
Wow.
carrying on with my life.
Hey, Bethany, hold on one second.
Let me just
Click.
Next
take my turn.
Have you played Crusader Kings? Are you aware of this?
No,
game?
I haven't. I was curious about it. It seems to have some similar mechanics to other games I've liked. I was really into Age of Empires 2 for a long while.
Me too.
And
I
that
used
was
to love those games.
a great game. I don't know if you ever played Star Wars Battlegrounds. Galactic Battlegrounds they took the same engine as Age of Empires 2 and then Star Wars themed it.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've played that.
And then they set it up so that there's certain mechanics that broke the game in that game where they had it so you could get infinite resources. So you could have infinite food if you built a food collector, and then you could just generate infinite something else, and then your buildings could have shields on them that recharged. So you could set it up to a point where you just kind of dominated and then just took over the whole map.
Nice.
But yeah, so then I've been playing some Switch games beyond that recently.
Do you have a favorite Switch game, like game of the system?
Probably Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I found that to be I really enjoyed how the AI plays with you, or how you can play with it, and the exploration in the world feels very, very large. It kind of felt like the original NES game, but like what my dreams of the NES game were, and then here it is realized, here's an open world that kind of feels more like a cartoon and it's breathing. And it just makes me excited for what they're going to bring next, and how this game series is going to continue to develop in the next couple of years.
They used the NES game to like beta test the game, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made a NES, like it was basically a top-down version of Breath of the Wild that they used to test the game's mechanics. So
that's awesome.
It's supposed to be sort of like a new realization of that game.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, what about you, Craig? What have you been playing?
Smash Brothers. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have. It's good. It's the first Smash I've.
Do you find you're playing as the same character over and over, or do you dance around?
Since they announced Incineroar, I told myself that's who I'm going to play. And then he ended up actually being kind of fun for me to play. So I use him when I am playing with real people, but I have to use Marth in the single player thing because he's the only one I have unlocked.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of between Marth and him. But I also like that Corin. How do you say it?
Yeah, Corrin.
I like her. I don't know. I think Incineroar is going to be my main.
What drew you to that character?
Pro wrestling.
Oh, okay.
As a pro wrestler cat. So.
Yeah, it is a wrestler cat.
And then I made a custom match type that's 999 health and no items except for I think I did the punching bag, just things that maybe could be in a wrestling thing. There's no steel chairs, unfortunately.
Okay, so you're theming it off that.
Yeah, and it's just pro wrestling 101, and you can only do it in the wrestling ring in my headcanon. But yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing. I'm excited to get back home from this holiday and start
New games?
new stuff.
Yeah.
New year, new stuff.
New year, new games.
But let's talk about an old game called Gauntlet Legends. Developed by Atari Games and published by Atari Games. It is the third game in the Gauntlet series. I guess it's a series. But it's the first 3D one, and it was from 1998 in the arcades, and then it came to home consoles. In 99 it came to N64. In 2000 it came to PlayStation, and then a little bit later it came to Dreamcast. But we played the arcade cabinet machine, so keep that in mind. When we talk about this experience, we were spending money, and a lot of it.
How much money did we spend altogether? Did we calculate that?
I mean,
we
I don't
probably
think we did.
should have.
We should have checked ahead of
Yeah,
time.
because I'm curious.
The game bleeds money.
I would say
Hmm.
probably $10,
Yeah,
maybe.
At least.
At
Yeah.
least.
it's very much a pay to win game.
But I don't mind it in this.
I mean, aren't all
In this
arcade games
scenario?
in that way?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting though because there's other games where you have a timer certainly, but you can take your time with it a bit more. This
Right.
game kind of teases you to go explore, and then your health is constantly ticking down the whole
Yeah,
time.
that sucks.
But I don't think it sucks. I mean, it's not like I don't think it's cool, but I'd rather play this because you can just keep going, and it's not like, oh, you lost because you suck. Like we played Tron at the arcade as well, and that's just kind of like, oh, you messed up. Like,
Yeah,
you
don't
lost.
get a lot to play with that.
And then this is more like, do you want to keep going? Just put another quarter in, rather than, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense at all? Like,
You're buying time.
yeah, you're just buying time to keep playing. You're not like losing. You're not
Yeah.
constantly losing. You're just, I don't know.
But that's similar to like beat 'em ups and stuff.
Yeah,
because you can
but
keep going through you're still on that same screen or level.
But
where
you
you're
can't-
left off on.
if you were to insert a credit,
Yeah.
would you gain life in the beat 'em up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess this one just hooks me for some reason. This one's always.
Now is it the art and aesthetics that you get, or
I don't know. I think it's just that it's kind of easy too.
Because we were there and I was like, "Do you want to play something else?" And you're like, "This is the game for me. I'm okay here."
It is. It's. I don't know. I think it is a little bit the art because it's old,
Mythological kind of.
blocky bullshit, but still like, I don't know. It feels like being a kid.
Now, would you be interested in trying the original Gauntlet game if you ever came across it?
I've played it. It's fun, but it's a lot harder, a lot more annoying.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more intense.
Yeah, I think this game's good because it feels easy. Like, a lot of arcade games aren't that fun because it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to die. But this game, it feels like, oh, just spam the button. You'll be all right. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Gary was running into the wall a lot, but he got there, He stayed
Yeah.
with us till the end.
Yeah.
No offense, Gary.
Jeez. We bring guests on. You can't just. So what's the genre of the game? In case you've never heard of this, how do we describe this?
Beat 'em up, I would say, in a way. It's 3D, which
top
is a little
down.
bit different. So yeah, isometric kind of perspective.
Like Diablo, if it was more meaty, like you're just like
You're a
punching,
little more
like,
zoomed in.
"Rah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could
One of
say
the
it's
things
a
that I-
dungeon crawler too.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It actually,
Yeah.
because you eventually it gives you arrows when you start going the wrong way. It's like, hey, idiots,
Oh, yeah.
go this way.
But the game does really well with having a lot of enemies on screen at once.
Yeah.
There's always something to be attacking. You're seeing like swarms of them coming out. They have all those little spawn points, so they keep coming even after you've gotten rid of everybody you can see.
Okay, so if you haven't listened to our podcast before, we like to run down the co-op factors, we call them, and it's just kind of leads to discussion about the game. So if it leads you off a tangent, don't worry about it. What is the type of co-op? Couch, online, split screen?
Couch, but we're not on a couch. We're standing. Standing couch.
Right, and I think that's why you see the game get so successful going on to the platformers. They followed up with
Like
getting
on
a bunch
at home?
You know, N64, PlayStation, Dreamcast.
It'd be fun to play this on N64 or Dreamcast. I'd like to try and see what the difference would be.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, it's an arcade cabinet. You just stand there. You all share the screen. You're bumping elbows.
Yeah.
You're sharing warmth. It's a great community builder, I think.
That's right.
The control scheme. How's it controlled? I mean,
Joy-Con? I mean, oh my
it's
god.
definitely not Joy-Cons.
Button mashing.
Yeah.
So
Joy-Con has replaced the word joystick in my brain. Just saying.
So it has 3 buttons. There was turbo, attack, and magic.
As well as start.
I found
and a
that-
stick.
and then a stick for movement. And then you had like an 8-axis control for
Yeah.
the character. And I thought that the turbo wasn't used as often as
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I didn't know what the cost was there. I didn't know if my health was going down quicker if I used it or not. I didn't take a look, but I found I didn't use it very much.
Only
Spamming
to-
attack like crazy.
yeah.
And then magic would be used to ward. I reserved magic to ward off death.
Which I think is the only thing that's for.
Yeah, well,
Really?
you can use it against normal guys
But
if you're
why?
surrounded by them,
Yeah.
and it will wipe them out, and so you can take out big chunks of people. But I didn't know if that's worth it compared to saving it for death.
Yeah, because death is such a
Pain
pain in the
grabs
ass.
you.
Yeah.
And magic is a collectible. It doesn't charge up over time, so you sort of just have to like find it.
And then for anybody who hasn't played the game before, death is like the Grim Reaper that follows you around and then grabs a character.
And kills them, I think.
Well,
if you don't
it
deal
drains
with it.
down the health. I think it takes out 500 or something. So
Wow.
if you have more than that, and each quarter is 500 health.
Yeah.
So if you have more than that, I think it'll finally give up after a while. But yeah, until you use magic, it just kind of holds you there.
Yeah. And we discovered almost near the end of our session, you could just hold the attack button. And that's basically the same speed as tapping.
Yeah, it was a little bit slower. When you have power-ups, though, it was not worth tapping. It was better to just hold it down, because then it would just... you fired
that
way faster.
Yeah. But it's fun to tap.
Also, just want to say, they didn't give us enough time to pick our character type at the start, because we ended up kind of like, some of us did not pick the ones we wanted.
That feels like arcade games.
But that's one of the things that definitely benefits on the console.
Yeah.
Because then you get the time to actually like read through what you want to do.
Is there shared loot or XP or anything shared?
Nothing shared. This is a pretty competitive game.
Yeah.
Co-op wise.
Competitive in the sense of...
Well, because even XP seemed to be different.
Right, it definitely
characters
is.
were leveling up at different rates than other characters.
I was getting a lot of kills, though.
Yeah, it seems like the character with most close-up combat was leveling up. You were the warrior?
Yeah.
So you were in front of everybody else, like, hacking and slashing. It seems like you had the highest level by the end.
Yeah.
There's a warrior, a sorcerer, wizard, an archer, and a...
Valkyrie.
I played the warrior.
There were 2 archers. Me and Greg were archers.
That was the Valkyrie.
Nice. Riding into battle. You can steal food from each other. Not like from each other's mouths.
It's the first one to get the food.
Yeah.
Gets a bonus of health.
Which sometimes... The game's a little too chaotic for that, I feel. Now, I don't know how they'd be able to handle it quickly.
Well, what was a little frustrating is if I bumped into a chest, it would automatically use a key.
Yeah.
I didn't press a button to activate it. Now, if someone bumped into me and pushed me into the chest and they continued to bump me, they could then pick up the food before I was able to get it.
Right.
And so just because you open the chest doesn't mean you get what's in the chest either.
And there's really no time to sort of debate who deserves the food because it's just moving so fast.
Well, no, you have all the time in the world. It just costs money.
Right, of course, yes.
But definitely there was times where it was like, Gary should probably get that meat, or I need that. Oh, no, it's gone.
Yeah, you know. I mean, was it worth running across the screen to pick up something that gives you 20 health when it took you, some time to get over there?
I think this just reminded me of like why you asked like why do I like the game. I think that's kind of part of the endearing part where it kind of doesn't matter. Just run into chests and use keys. You don't need grand strategy for this thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there who's really good at the game, but it doesn't seem like anytime you get 4 random people together, or anytime I've been in a situation where we've had 4 people together, it's never been someone dominates in the game. Everybody seems kind of very similar in terms of skill set.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps if you, because the game has a save mechanism, which is really interesting for arcade games. As you make your character, you also get a password for it, and you can reserve your character over time, and you can drastically, if you play for a long period of time, drastically build up your skill set. That probably changes the game pretty dramatically. Like,
I wonder if there's a level cap.
I think it's 999.
Holy
so like there's 99 for level, I think, and then for each of the attributes, they were like you start with like 250 or something like that, and each time you purchase one, it's like +5. But eventually you could get 999 on that.
Wow.
And so if you have a TAC that's 3 times as high as it was previously, I mean, that's going to make an impact. But if everybody's starting the same, I don't think that you really notice anyone dominating compared to others.
Also, if they unplug the machine and move it, then, you lose your save, so...
Yeah. Because arcade games nowadays have the online... Like, you enter your password, you enter your code, and then it's saved to the cloud. So you can access that character from Virginia. Yeah.
Nice.
Which is kind of cool. But that's always on, like, the Mario Kart Dave and Buster games and stuff.
Okay.
That you don't really... I don't need to do that. Is there any friendly fire? Can you hurt each other in any way?
I don't think so.
No, I mean maybe if you shoot someone who has a red barrel near you, if you're near an explosive barrel and someone shoots it, that's the closest you could get to it.
I would hate this would be a bad game if there was friendly fire.
Yeah, because you're constantly having to shoot over people. You get stuck in hallways so often.
Separate mode folds. The fold thing, you can just play one player if you want. It's not like you turn on Gauntlet co-op mode or something.
Right.
Are there things to unlock? We mentioned the saving characters, which is pretty cool. But I don't think...
There's timed things. You get bonuses that you can run into, and you can purchase those bonuses as well that you start with the next time.
But it's not permanent.
But
exactly.
There's no like skins or something. Though I will say the red, whoever was red, you were red?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a Santa outfit?
No, I don't think so.
I
It was just red.
I
But,
think it's the
like,
right character.
I know, but it had fur-lined boots and stuff because I was
Because he's an
thinking.
archer.
Yeah.
I was thinking, wait, it's the month of December. Does the machine turn on
That would be cool.
There
but-
are machines that do that.
You know
I
what I
don't think
mean?
that this is what this is doing. Though.
The internal
I think
clock?
I think it's the red character.
Yeah. Well, they should do that. In
But
the
you
next
know,
one.
the Santa character wouldn't look any different when you have 10 polygons to work with. You know.
Well, more
True.
more red.
Sure.
Are there interruptive actions? So this is things like some games, I'll be on this side of the screen and Grace will run to the right side of the screen and we'll move on to the next screen and I'll just like oh I guess we're going. Is there anything that kind of
We fell through a door into a mini game where we picked up a bunch of gold coins.
That was the only time that happened.
The
though.
only time that happened.
you can get stuck on the screen if two of us are at the
Yes.
top, two of us are at the bottom, and you're trying to go opposite directions. That thing where
Yes, and there's no rubber banding that happens that pulls you closer.
which is good I think because if you were rubber banded, I don't know how it would decide
Who wins?
who's the
Is it
winner.
3 versus 1 type thing.
Yeah. The difficulty of the game. We beat the entire thing of easy mode when you fight the dragon, and then we played all the way through medium till the spider fetish lady.
Yep.
How do you find the difficulty of this game?
I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
Just the difficulty is how many quarters do you have to put in?
Yeah.
pretty much.
See,
Yeah.
that's
Especially when you get to the boss. That's what's annoying. It just feels like you just have to throw money at the boss because it just wipes you out so quickly.
Yeah, there's nowhere to run. You can't build a tactic against it.
The dragon at least had like some rocks that you could hide behind,
Well-
and like I could see when his fireballs were coming, and I could move out of the way. But I didn't even know what the spider lady was doing.
But I think you had to just stay away. I was running in because I was the
Yeah, but
axe
she
guy.
she would run across the web, and
But
she'd
you'd
come
move.
right at you.
Someone
Move
has
out
to
the
be
way.
the target, basically,
Yeah, I mean, you could outrun her, kind of, but
a little bit.
So
But
that person's gonna have to pay though.
yeah.
We died
that's
too
the
quickly.
person who has to pay.
But then only one person's paying and not,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
but when that person dies, she just moved on to another one.
We
I
just
mean,
make
it was
our
about
rich
the same.
friend.
She's only targeting one at a time anyway.
Right.
And you're paying about the same.
Well, still, I think it's doable. It felt impossible at first.
I think it's doable. But like I said, you still need to spend money overall because of
Right.
time.
You're not getting
no
through this
matter
game
what.
in a quarter.
No, yeah, I don't think it's.
There's no way to get through on a token.
I questioned if that was possible.
I
with-
wonder why they made the decision not to just keep it not time limited. Like, why did they make the decision to limit the time?
Yeah, I mean money.
But I mean, all arcade games are designed to suck quarters out of you. So I feel like it's
They
Right,
must
it's
have
not
felt
like
this is too
it's
easy. then.
unfair to be like, wonder why they do it. Not unfair, but
I'm
you know
just
what I mean.
curious.
Well,
Like,
it's
I'm
not-
wondering if they thought it was too easy then.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not unique to this game that it's taking your quarters.
But it says something about it where I don't enjoy NBA Jam or something where to play the next quarter you have to put a quarter in. Like, just let me play the game. But for some reason this worked for me where I'm like, to continue.
Right. The cost of continuing, like, there's not a hard
There's-
barrier of entry. Right.
Yeah.
Because you just put the quarter in and you just keep going. You're exactly where you just were.
There's-
Your screen hasn't moved. You're exactly where you were. You got all your stats.
Yeah, it doesn't have that pause, even the split second pause of continue question mark to make you
Right.
go, nah, I'm good. In this, it's like there's only go put it in. I don't put it in.
Also, if you wait too long to hit start
Yeah.
to add more health, you do lose your character.
You can pick a different character. I think
After you
that
die, you mean?
you
Yeah.
still are under your same user, and it's the same character though.
Yeah, I think when I died and came back, I was my level 7 guy again. As long as I picked Archer. So you just have to make sure to pick your same class, at least. But you do lose some time. I don't know, maybe you probably lose your upgrades though.
Competitiveness of the co-op.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
And-
you want gold to buy power-ups.
Yeah, they reinforce it after every run through a level. Here's how many you killed. Here's your score for gold, and here's a visual for it too. You know, we're gonna give you this mountain of gold.
Which, yeah, each character, it like grows almost like a Mario Party star. Like, who's going to win? Oh,
Yep.
And also there's the Blue Wizard is it thing.
Not so much competitive though.
I mean, but it's fun
yeah,
to be it.
It's a
I
nice
thought
little
you don't
mechanic.
want to be it in tag.
Why would you get to touch anybody you want?
And
That
then they're
sounds real creepy, but
Okay.
that might be your prize.
I thought in tag you want to be running from it.
Why?
Right.
No,
Like,
you want
when
to be
you're
winning.
it,
You want to
you're
be
losing.
faster than people.
Right.
No, when you're it, you're winning because you get to prove your dominance against
I think
500
you
other
were
kids.
confused as a child.
No, I loved
and-
being like, oh, I'm it. Now you're it because I'm faster than you. and then I'm not it anymore.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
but you were always it. 'cause
perspective,
the power,
I guess.
right?
It's good. I want to be it. Anyways,
You're still it from the games we played as a kid, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, now I'm it.
There is a not remake. I guess it is a remake. Like 2014, they made Gauntlet for modern consoles, and it has a crown feature, which is the exact same thing as it.
It is not the exact same thing because you want the crown.
This is literally just like your opinion of it.
I think that people want crowns.
Yes. So what I'm saying is they obviously realized being it is not as cool as having a crown.
Okay.
But it's the same exact mechanic where you get it. I'm it. If you run into me, you get to be it now. And then with the crown, if you run into me, you have the crown now. And I remember the little bit we played of that. It was like very competitive to have the crown.
It's more fun to have a crown on your head than it is it on your back of your little polygonal character.
Right.
Like you want a crown on your little character more.
And I don't know what it does nothing, I'm pretty sure.
No, it was just fun.
But it is fun. I was worried about being it. Was no one else worried about being it?
No, I mean, I knew the mechanic. I played a lot of N64.
No one else? Okay, well. Can I
did
be
not
it then?
want to be it. That's not what you want. If you wanted to be it in tag, you would run away from everyone else and stop playing the game. That's what I'm confused about.
Were you focused on that mechanic, either of you, during the game? Were you focused on the it and actually making an active choice to pick it up or not?
Only when I noticed it would go away. It would pop up, and then I'd think about it for like 10 seconds and I'd be like, I don't care
Because we were constantly stuck in hallways. And
but
you're just bouncing around.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, yeah. I happen to be it at the moment.
Yeah, that is a weird thing to put in there.
Yeah.
In the one on consoles, I haven't played it in years now, but it feels like you have the room to avoid each other.
Yeah, you do.
In this one, you do not. You are the size of the hallways.
Yeah,
so.
basically. And a lot of times, but it funnels down, and then you go into this little room, and then you funnel down.
I wonder what the it thing does. I feel like we should look that up.
I don't think it does anything, but you can look it up. I'm pretty sure the mechanic is simply just a nice little mechanic to have in there, like a mini game.
Okay, while I look that up, you guys talk about the strategy or tactics. Did we discuss anything? Did we strategize? Stuff like that.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when the way that we treated potions was to avoid death, we reserved them for death. That definitely is a tactic that we developed pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, we realized we can't all just, use it whenever we want because we'll waste it. So we definitely had to think it through.
There's also the special that builds up. And then you build up the special and you could do turbo attack and then it would shoot off some rocket. And that generally seemed to be saved for those mini bosses.
Yeah, mini bosses are the big bosses.
Yeah.
Or the one big boss.
Okay, pause, everybody. Being it pulls aggro. When you're it, the monsters attack you.
So you don't want to be it. So I was right the entire time, and you misunderstood tag as a child. That's
wow.
Craig, we can make you it.
No, I don't want to be it. I never want to be it.
Being it is bad.
Just like a kid, the monsters would attack you.
I'm just glad to be vindicated, that's all.
I mean, I wasn't arguing that.
Uh-huh.
Well, whatever. That's
Being
interesting.
it is bad.
Wow.
That is interesting. We wouldn't have known because I couldn't. It's so hard to tell where the monsters are going because they're just everywhere. So that's almost irrelevant, honestly.
So you could work that into your strategy.
I wonder against the boss.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever pops up for the bosses.
I didn't notice it.
It doesn't carry through, I don't think, right? It just kind of shows up randomly as that orb that chases you. Okay, so that's kind of the end of our factors list. But Gary, how do you? What do you think of Gauntlet Legends? Do you enjoy your experience playing this game?
Is this your first time playing Gauntlet Legends?
Oh no.
Okay.
No, far from my first.
This is a Gary and Craig
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This goes way back.
Okay.
I actually like the original too, though. The top-down version.
Yeah.
The 80s one.
I actually kind of like that one better.
Was that also an arcade game?
Yep.
Okay.
It was Gauntlet, Gauntlet 2, and then Gauntlet Legends.
Oh, okay. It looked even worse than this at some point?
Well, it was 2D
It was the
graphics,
80s.
so
okay.
worse is,
Well, I like the
is very
top-down
different.
version because it's just a little easier to see where your character is because that's a problem that I had.
Certainly. I mean, that
Pretty
definitely
often.
happens a lot in Gauntlet Legends. You have a lot of magic things that are happening on the screen that mask
Yeah.
you.
Because I would look for the color of my character, and one of the levels we played was a forest
Yeah, you played green.
with lots of green.
Yeah, so you kept looking at other which I don't blame him. It's extremely chaotic.
Yeah, so my vision is already pretty bad to begin with. So there were points where my character was running into a wall on the opposite side of the screen that everybody else was on. So Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem that I had.
I would think better graphics would probably help that. Just make it more clear looking.
It's got that muddy Nintendo 64 gross,
But the original had even worse graphics.
But you could. It was more clear.
But you could differentiate the characters. Yeah.
Because it's just more minimal. There's not like these winding tree stumps that you're running up and down the vines. There's no elevators. Fuck the elevators.
Oh, the elevators were really in the forest level. There's these elevators that just constantly go up and down, and if you miss it, you can be really screwed because then the map's just moving on without you, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're just leaving them behind. But you can't because you have to go back and get them.
But I also like how in the first one, well, maybe it's the second one. I don't know which one it was. The one, the top down one. When you would shoot the gate, and all of the monsters would come swarming out. I always like that.
That's it. Yeah, they don't really have that here because they're always just swarming out. There are some gates, but it's not the same. See, I think the arcade, the old school ones are way too intense. I could never...
Like harder?
Yeah. Although, it's been a while. We should play those next time.
Yep.
Can you find do you know an arcade around
here
that has...
Not here, but in New York, in the arcades.
Oh, really?
And there's the Strong Museum of Play. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They might even have one. I'm not
sure.
sure.
They have Gauntlet Legends.
I know they had Legends.
I think they have a Gauntlet.
Awesome.
I could be mistaken. There could be some other top-down dungeon game. The 80s had a bunch of those.
That's all they had.
Are there any of these other like co-op arcade games that you think are better than Gauntlet Legends? Any of y'all?
No.
I don't think so, no.
I mean, there's different games I like for different things.
Mm.
I like in Gauntlet Legends the swarming of lots of bad guys. I also get that from Smash TV.
Yeah, Smash TV is kind of like this.
And so I really like, there's a lot of mechanics. It's a very different game, but there's a lot of mechanics that are in both that I really like.
I just like the relatively mindlessness
Yeah.
that comes with this, where we can kind of talk also while we're playing.
But it does start to hurt my hand. My fingers get very tired. I'm just saying.
Is there a way to...
There's an exhaustion factor to this game.
That's important to note. Do you own this? Does anybody own this on the...
I have it on N64, I think, yeah.
And do you have a working N64 and 4 controllers?
Yeah, we could go play if you want.
Well, in 1 year...
Right.
No, some days we should do that then, and then we can all re-listen to this episode and compare.
Comparison.
I might have it for Dreamcast. I don't know.
I would play it on any of them.
Yeah, I'd be really curious on the Dreamcast just in case the graphics were better. But I don't know if they made any changes over that time.
Greg, how do you feel about the game? Did you enjoy your time?
Yeah, I like this game. I mean, I've always been a fan of it. It's tough because you go back and revisit it, but it's not like this is the game that you want to spend all your time playing on when compare it to like modern things. There's other things I would invest my time into.
I think that's why I like it in the arcade, because we're only in the arcade for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
That's the one that's fun for me.
And you feel like you make progress with it compared to a lot of other games.
Yeah, I didn't just put a quarter in and wrestle Hacksaw Jim Duggan and like, okay. I don't know. There's something to that for me.
Should we not give this game a rating?
Well, did you like it?
Yes, I did. I just got sleepy. But I also just made me tired from the holidays.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I did. I thought it was chaotic, which I enjoy for co-op games. The competitiveness annoyed me sometimes because I wanted more gold, and it was very hard to see where or how to get gold. And then I didn't like how...
It was the vomit on the floor.
Right, it was the vomit. It did look like vomit. Well, you can see why I didn't want to run into it.
It looked like Captain Crunch, Oops All Berries vomit.
Yeah. And I didn't like how there wasn't enough like unlockables through gold that stayed permanent. I wish there was more like different weapon kind of thing, add-ons that stay with you forever. Like I know the skill points would stay, but I wanted more of that. But I liked it. It was fun. It was a good time. I liked it more than most other co-op arcade games I play where we just all die really quickly, like The Simpsons or Turtles, what's it called? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We played Ninja Turtles before this, and the arcade cabinet was all screwed up, and we couldn't see on the screen.
Yeah, what was going on with that? They were like half
broke.
Yeah, I think that it's a pretty common issue that can happen.
I've seen
it before.
Is that like disc rot of the arcade world?
Or like ROM rot, maybe.
ROM rot?
I don't know. Yeah.
Fix it.
Yeah. You're gonna blow into it. So.
Yeah, you got to open the thing.
Should have blown into it.
Let's give it a score.
All right.
So you get up to 5.00, but you can make it a 4.99. You can make it a 0.001, whatever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Gary, what would you give it as a score?
3.95.
Okay. None of these scores are ever relative either. So if you ever review another game with us, it's not comparative. It's just
so he could like another game way more.
Way more, and it could be
two.
Absolutely, because we have all the audio evidence to
This
back
is like
up.
whose line is it anyway? Points don't matter. Nothing matters.
Greg.
A solid orange.
Okay,
That's,
perfect.
No, you have to give it a number.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Point decimals.
Orange point banana.
It would have been like an apple banana, but
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't speak for you.
No, it's fair.
Fine, no, I'm okay with that.
4.01.
Okay,
All right.
Grace.
I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna give it a 4.23.
Okay, I'm gonna give it. Wow, those all feel high for what you guys have been
But
saying.
I'm thinking
Serious?
about arcade game scale.
Arcade game scale. This is for me. Oh,
Right,
you're right.
that's my
Sorry.
scale.
Good
That's-
point.
yeah,
Good
no,
point.
We had fun.
Good point. You guys had fun.
Regardless of the quality of the game, we had fun.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I'm at the same
'Cause
level.
what other arcade would we have played? Like
You're right.
That's where we spent our time.
Ooh, man, when you phrase it that way, I'm going 4.72.
Wow.
That
That's
makes
too
sense
high.
to
Yeah.
where you were. Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I would have put it, but like compared to your excitement and enjoyment,
I
of
love this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about snacks? What snacks?
What
would you...
snacks should we have? Now it was the barcade, so
We had beer.
Beer
Beer.
worked well with it. It definitely had that 80s kind of mystic vibe.
I could
and
have used
beer.
some fries with it as well.
Fries
But you
with
don't
it.
want to get the keys greasy because other people play with them. So
people don't care about
So-
that.
If you had like boneless wings with a fork.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Boneless wings. My worst.
Gary,
enemy.
what snack would you want to eat while playing this?
No, I don't eat snacks.
All right.
Okay,
That's
That's fine. That's
no
good.
snacks for Gary.
Yeah.
Drink of choice then?
Oh no, I had I had beer.
Yeah, you had the Rohrbach
Do you know?
Christmas ale.
It was a Christmas.
Was it good? Rate that.
Yeah, it was very delicious.
Give it a score. Beer advocate.
Up to 2 decimal places.
Oh,
Can't be a color or a fruit.
Apparently.
4 point.
Out of 5?
Yeah, 4.17.
Okay. What's
good.
the lowest scoring beer you've ever had?
Jeez, what a question.
I'm just curious.
That's a
Trying
lot
to see
of
the real range.
Yeah, we need to see the
Have
range
you ever
because it
given a
says
real
Corona's
zero
a
out?
4.14. Like, oh, well,
Well-
there's not much to work with.
Well, Corona, you need
The line.
the lime. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The lime
So-
brings it from like a.
So Corona sans lime.
Ooh, don't even. Oh,
no,
Can you
no,
drink that?
no,
Is that
no,
drinkable?
no, yeah.
I don't even know what you do with it.
Throw it away.
It would kill plants.
Well, the best beer I had recently was this Japanese beer.
What was it
It was,
called?
it was
Sapporo.
no,
Love
no,
me.
that's not bad.
I like
I like me a
Sapporo.
Sapporo.
No, this was like I forgot what it was called, but it had an owl.
Okay.
I'll look out for an owl on
Is it
beer can.
Asahi or whatever? Is that the other one?
No, it was a
It
Japanese
was
craft
like a
beer.
craft.
Oh.
Oh, they're getting into that game now.
Oh, it was. Well, they've been in that game.
Who's been in the game? That place?
No,
Oh.
No, just in general.
America.
We're just speaking in general.
Oh.
No,
In Japan.
Japan
Japan.
has
Not
been in the
America.
craft beer.
I
game
thought
for
it more.
a pretty
Well,
long time,
I very rarely go to a place that carries Japanese craft beers.
We go get ramen all the time.
Yeah, they usually only have like Sapporo and some other stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was
fine with
very
Sapporo.
expensive, so I'm sure a lot of restaurants wouldn't carry it.
Right.
But it was a good beer.
I have craft beer from the Philippines too that I didn't try yet.
Well, let us know.
I will.
Next time he's in, we can
Yeah,
update us on
that's
his
every
beer
time
choices.
Gary's in. We get a segment. Gary's beer advocacy. I don't know if I can say beer advocate because that's already a thing, right? So we need a cooler
Yeah, that
name.
means what you're.
Yeah. How about Gary's beer score?
Gary's beer of the month.
Beer of the month.
That makes you sound like an alcoholic, though.
No, it doesn't. It's a
No,
month.
just-
You drink once.
You're-
Because you said craft beer, that means you're
Yeah,
not.
That's
like,
12 beers a year, Gary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't drink a lot of beer.
Right, once a month.
Well, but it
Fine,
seems like you tried
Gary's-
some fancy beers.
Gary.
Yeah.
All right, the segment's gonna be called Gary's an adult.
And he doesn't drink that much beers, but he drinks some, and he wants to tell us
I
about
drink
it.
very expensive beer. That's why I can't drink that often.
At
That's
least once a month.
That's fair.
Drink of the month.
Okay, what do you say we take it to the closing segment?
All right, let's do it.
So instead of a news segment or an armchair co-op game design segment, I just wanted to ask everybody that's here, their favorite. Let's also wrap it around the holiday too, since
In
we're
the
all here
spirit
for
of
the
the
holiday.
holidays and spirit of nostalgia.
When you go home for the holidays, or you're with your family for the holidays, do you have co-op gaming memories? Grace.
I do, and I think I remember most is just playing. I was thinking about this the other day. Four Swords, Legend of Zelda: Four Swords, and Crystal Chronicles, the games that you would connect your Game Boy Advances to the GameCube, and you would play like that, which is like ridiculous thinking about that now. I think if they made us do that now, we would all be very upset. But it was really fun back in the day. We loved those games. So
That would end up being cheaper back then, probably, than all of us just having Switches, though. And we do that
right.
happily.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because the cords weren't expensive, but
Yeah, they don't have Game Boys.
But if y'all had a Game Boy for, let's
And
say,
a
those
yeah,
were...
we did. We just happened to, luckily. But yeah, no, that was fun. I just remember trying to beat very hard levels in Crystal Chronicles and all voting each other the worst on Legend of Zelda: Four Swords and getting mad. And that was great.
What?
You could vote at the end of each level who was the most helpful and least helpful, and that was very funny to me. You could do that.
That sounds ruthless. I do not like that.
It was. Especially ruthless when you're with your sibling and it's like, you're just like, screw them, you know? That's how it is.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He's an only child, but us people with siblings, we know.
Greg, co-op holiday gaming memories.
It was really interesting. When I was really young, I remember coming down one morning and my dad was like, "Hey guys," and he pulls out this like bag of Nintendo games, just original NES games. And I was just like, "What the heck?" And there was like 20, 30 games in there. And like this is like the peak of luck as a child.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever matched this again.
What do you do with all that power?
But it was like some lady from church decided to she's like, "Oh, you guys have one of these and your kids might enjoy it. So here's all these games." And so whoever her kid was just had like his childhood ripped from him.
Yeah, what happened? Was he being punished?
No clue. I think he went to college or high school or
or he said the hell word.
And so all of their games were given to us, and it was amazing because
Dude, that's not a holiday memory. That's a lottery jackpot memory.
Yeah, no, you know, like when we had hacked Xboxes in high school, and we got to try lots of different games.
You're gonna be arrested now. You know that, right?
That's fine.
The police is coming.
That's fine.
That was that experience.
They don't know where we are because we're in a hotel room.
That was that experience when we were kids of being able to try all these different games I never would have had an opportunity to otherwise. Here it is, go ahead and try. And one of the games in that pack was a game called Cowboy Kid. Cowboy Kid was just, it's amazing because it was a Japanese game. It's like the third in the series. It's unlike a bunch of the other ones that had been done before then. And they rebranded it for the US and brought it here as Cowboy Kid. Some like, it's not Rockstar, but like Romstar or something.
I was going to say, is this Red Dead Redemption at the very beginning?
Yeah. And so it was like this side scroller, but you got to go explore the town. So you could go into buildings, leave buildings.
It's Red Dead.
So you could enter a building, you could go to the store, you could buy things at the store, then you could go to the inn, you could sleep there the night. And what you are is you're a bounty hunter, and you're 6 levels as your bounty hunter. And you're going to these different towns and just exploring through the town.
Each town is one level?
Each town is one level, but there's lots of different places to that level. Like there's one level that has like 3 tiers, a dungeon, and a graveyard, and then as well as the boss area, and that's one level, so it's pretty expansive. And as you go through, the game starts right, and you get a knife. So you're just running around, you're knifing people through this like cowboy game. I'm this 4 or 5 year old kid, and this is like the greatest thing to me because you're playing 2-player from the get go.
Co-op.
It is co-op.
Okay.
And so my brother and I got to play.
You're both a character?
The entire game, yeah. One is a cowboy, the other is your little Indian friend. And that's
nice.
you know, so you get
It's
Lone
the
Ranger
80s.
and Tonto running around, and you're going through this place. And as you stab people, every time you stab a person, it shoots up a coin from them, so you can collect money that way by stabbing people.
Good life lesson.
And you're the good guys in this, yeah.
This is like Grand Theft Auto, but cowboy version.
But there's all these mini games as well, so you can go to the shooting range, and then you're going around, and you're practicing shooting, and it's a totally different mechanic than anything else in the game. There's also like poker or something along those lines. And so just this amazing game, and I've looked it up since then because I want to copy it myself.
I was just gonna say,
right?
is this real?
The game is like $400 now,
God.
and it's like so rare, but you can get like
What happened to your copy?
I still have it.
Oh,
but I gotta
my
fight
God.
my brothers for it now. One of us is gonna.
I want to see it being played now.
This is gonna be one of the mechanics of like.
Do they make like repro carts? Like,
there are, and they're like $15, thankfully.
That might be worth doing
the
just
option,
to like.
to get a hold of it.
Yeah.
It's such a game that none of the other games I played were like that at the time.
Especially at the time. Even nowadays, that's kind of rare because I know I made the joke like it is Red Dead, but you can't go in the buildings.
Extensive.
Really, so.
There's a certain level. In a certain level, you can find a pistol and a boomerang. In another level, you can find a tomahawk and rifle.
And do those carry through to the other levels?
And they carry through. So you might want to start with that level.
Wow.
When the game starts, you have 6 wanted posters, and that's how you choose your level. You're going after a boss. One of the bosses is like on a train. Another one is, wherever else. And so you can start at that level to get a hold of that item so you can use it in the other ones because it might make it easier.
When's the last time you played?
I played about last year when I brought home.
Okay.
I was like, Dad, I have these controllers. I bought them online and I have an emulator for it. We're going to play it on the television. And I was so concerned about his ability to play and having to start over.
Because he's old.
No. So it was like he hasn't played games like this.
Right. No, yeah.
So I put all these cheat codes in on the side. And, after like 20 or 30 minutes, he's like, wow, this game's still going. And I died a lot. I'm like, yeah. It's great. And so I put all these cheat codes in so that he wouldn't die, and I gave it so that we had infinite money. But I had forgotten like all these tricks as a kid that I had learned. One of them is if you put infinite money in the Game Shark or whatever, the at the end of the level, your money just counts to infinity.
Okay.
And so you get stuck on the success screen, so you can't go on after that. So we played a single level, and got through it. But
that sounds cool. I kind of want to check that out.
It's a sweet game.
Gary. Holiday co-op gaming memories, or maybe if you don't have any, just you have siblings.
Yeah, I was raised in a house without video games though.
Okay. Did you ever go to like families' houses and they had video games?
Did you have video as a kid?
Well, we had a.
Did you have sticks and dirt?
Yes.
Was there video that you could play games near?
My older brothers had the original Nintendo system, but that kind of disappeared for a little while. I think my mother saw my brother in his sleep jumping like Mario, and that scared her.
You're lying.
No, really.
I'm sorry, but how do you jump like Mario in your sleep?
Yeah, she would see him doing that.
Yeah,
and she thought it was messing with his mind, like rotting his brain.
That's amazing.
So she had that removed from the household.
She, as a good God-fearing Christian woman should,
to be rediscovered later on, but. When I was of age to appreciate video games, I really didn't have anything. We had a computer, and eventually, we managed to sneak in a copy of Half-Life. And that was pretty much our game that we used to take turns playing all the time.
We had a game like that. It was Chex Quest. It came in the Chex cereal box, and it was a Doom skin of Chex, and that was like our PC game. So when you said a Half-Life, I was like, oh shit, a real game. Like,
good experience.
Well, we used to mess around with the console and create levels for each other to play.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And we pretty much used that game to do everything.
That's amazing. See, that's what I miss about being grown up and having money to buy new games with is I don't play games to death like that.
Yeah, you don't discover all those little intricacies.
Yeah. I don't make up my own games anymore.
I guess those people became speedrunners, right?
I guess sort of.
The people that discover every little intricacy about the games.
Even like I remember GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And it was like the only game you could have available. And so my brothers and I would set it up and we'd just hang out and build bases in multiplayer because there was no time limit.
Right.
And so you just no, you're over there, we're over here, and we'd just set up a bunch of mines in there and you just hang out in the level for over an hour.
We would do stuff like that too. In Super Smash Brothers Melee, we would set our stock to 99 on Corneria or Legend of Zelda, and we would each have our own base, our own fort.
I guess I did just say I made that pro wrestling thing. But it's not like I've played that. I just made it because it sounds fun.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the wrestling mode in Smash.
Oh, right.
Wrestling in quotes.
Yeah, something like that. That's the kind of thing we did as kids. When you get bored with the game, it's what else can we do? Let's just mess around.
Minecraft sort of had that for us a little bit.
Minecraft has a nice ability for that.
I miss
Minecraft.
I just miss staying in a game for a long time.
Yeah.
Making
it in
your
a way
own
that it wasn't intended to be
making
played.
your own fun.
Yeah,
because I remember I used to go to school and look up as many cheat codes and console commands and all that stuff as possible and print them all out.
Amazing.
I miss cheat
codes. Bring them home, yeah. Because we also didn't have internet.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of not having internet, that sounds like it sucks. But if you do have internet, Grace, where can they find us?
You can find us on our SoundCloud at Saves Together, but you can find us on pretty much any major podcast network if you look up our podcast name. You can also find us at Twitter, where we post a bunch of our updates, and at Instagram, where we post a lot of fun pictures.
Both at Saves Together.
Both at Saves Together. So yeah, that's where you can find us. So go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, you know what to do.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for playing Gauntlet with me, which
Yeah.
is apparently my favorite game.
With us. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
I hope you had fun. I had fun.
Yeah, it was
We
fun.
should do more of these.
All right.
Bye,
Sounds
guys.
good. Bye.